Hey, what to do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment I want to talk about tonight. Arkansas high school football playoffs is set. And who do I think is going to win 4A and 5A? Hey, man, before I get started, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button, okay? So we can continue to support this channel, okay? Hey, but let's go ahead and jump into this thing, man. It's high school football in Arkansas. And as y'all know, man, I love me some high school football in Arkansas. As you all know, I'm going to talk about tonight. I want to talk about 4A and 5A. Who do I think is going to come out of these two conferences? Guess what? In 4A, I got four schools in mind that I think can win the state championship this year and go to War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. The first team I want to talk about is Elkins. Okay, the X. Okay, this Elkin team is coming in again undefeated. They're 10-0, and they have been dominating teams all season. This team right here is one of the most explosive teams that you would see. I watched this team right here twice this year. Both of them, I did not make it past halftime because it was over with by halftime. They have a quarterback by the name of Dizzy Dean. Little Dizzy Dean. Man, this kid right here can play. Listen, this team right here is in prime position to get to the state championship game. Last season, they was on their way there. They was unbeaten. They faced against a really good team. As actually, they had lost one game, and they met up against Nashville in a game where they should have won, and they ended up choking up the game. They ended up losing 63-62. Yes, you heard that right. It's not a basketball score. That was a football score. 63-62 against Nashville. Now, this team right here is on a revenge tour. This team right here is ready. They're primed. And I think that this team right here got what it takes this season. They have been putting up at least 40, 50 points every single game. They coming in averaging 40 points a game. And I expect for this team right here to be somewhere towards somewhere in the top when it's all said and done, at least top two. I expect for this Elkin team to be in the state championship this season. But the team that they will have to go through to get there would be Hardin Academy. Hardin Academy is led by Superman junior quarterback. Last year he was a sophomore. Now this kid right here is back this season, Hardin Academy, and he's leading this team again. They're undefeated again, like always. And I expect for Owen Miller to finally get this team over the hump. Now, they was in the state championship game last year in which they lost to Malvern. It was a rainy day. They lost. Now, this team right here, they're going to throw the ball all over the field. I expect for them to be there against Elkin. I expect for them to meet against Elkin to go to the state championship game. I cannot see another team defeating this team. Now, this team right here, these are two high-powered offenses. These right here are two teams that's going to come in and they're going to step up off the bus with 30 points. And that's right there what type of game I expect for this right here to be when these two teams meet. I expect for this right here to be a high-powered team. Whoever has the ball last, I expect for them to win the game. And this is why I'm putting them in my top four, Hardin Academy. Now, my third team, who I expect to make it to Little Rock. I'm a big fan of this team. It's the Warren Lumberjacks. Now, the one thing about this Warren Lumberjack team that I'm worried about is the turnover. They are a very inconsistent team. Even though they're 10-0, they are very inconsistent. Now, this team right here walks off the bus with about 21 points because of the playmakers that they got. One of the playmakers they got is one of the best players in the state of Arkansas, and that is Antonio Jordan, the junior wide receiver. Or I would just say he's kind of remind me of Traylon Burton. He's just he'll do it all type of player. Sometimes you might see him catch a 40-yard bomb. Sometimes you might see him run for 4 or 5 touchdowns. While in the Wild Lumberjack, that's what I like to call it, the Wild Jack. Now, when they put him at quarterback and they put him in the Wild Jack, this kid right here, it's pretty much no stopping him. it kind of reminds me of the Philly push. It's almost guaranteed to get a first down or a touchdown. Now, this is not the only issue I got with this Warren Lumberjack team is that I can't say I have an issue with them, but they have a very inexperienced quarterback. Now, he's only a freshman. Jackson Denton. Jackson Denton is a really good quarterback, but he's only a freshman. So guess what? If you got a freshman quarterback, right? You know he's gonna make freshman mistakes. And that is exactly what Jackson Denton does. He makes a lot of freshman mistakes. If they can get him on point, this team right here in Warren is the most complete team, especially on the offensive side, because they have playmakers everywhere. I'm just talking about one. They got Neandre Thomas. Hey, they also have what's the guy name? Jordan Ingram. At Traylon Jackson at running back. Now Traylon Jackson he'll let that ball go every now and then. That's the only issue that I got with him. He will fumble. He fumble every now and then. But that's all their playmakers. They have a lot of playmakers on this team, but they also have a lot of players that fumble a lot. That's my only issue with this Warren Lumberjack team. Now they gonna put up points, but they gonna also let you. And they got their defense is suspect. It's a very suspect defense because they will give you points. Like they allow Hamburg to score. Hamburg got a very good team. They allow DeWitt to score. DeWitt got a very good team as well. But you cannot do what they did against those two teams and win a state championship. You just can't. Especially if they have to go through Orkadelphia. That's my fourth team, Orkadelphia. Now, Orkadelphia just beat the brakes off of Malvern. Malvern is the defending state champion. This Orkadelphia team lost 3 games this year, but they was against out-of-state teams. This Orkadelphia team have probably the best. They can match up against any one of these 3 teams. The problem that I have with Orkadelphia is a running team. They're a run team. And Orkadelphia have the best defense of all 3 of these other teams. So what wins championship? Defense wins championship. I expect for Orkadelphia to be somewhere up there. And Orkadelphia, if you looking at it, Orkadelphia have a first round bye. Okay, Warren will play Truman in the first round. Elkin will play Clinton. That's a blowout. Hardin Academy will play against Gentry. Now, the only roadblock I can see for these teams is I can see Warren somewhere down the line, maybe Stuttgart. That can be a hard game for them in the second round. Nah, I can't see in the second round. But Elkin, they have CAC at the top of their bracket. I can't see nobody else really playing them hard. Now I can see this. I can see in the third round that they meet against the Nimitz, the Nimitz that beat them last season, which was Nashville. But I think Elkins want that. I think Elkins wants to meet Nashville again because they know they let one slip away. I think that they want to meet them. So I look at this game right here, and I think that this right here is the type of game. This right here is what Elkins wants. They wants to meet Nashville to get their revenge. It's the revenge tour. Nashville, I hope y'all meet against Elkins because they want y'all. So Orkadelphia is my number 1 team that's gonna make it to Little Rock. That's gonna make it to the semifinal. Warren is my second one. Elkins is my third one. And Hardin Academy is my fourth one, even though Hardin Academy is down there with Malvern, and they could even meet Malvern in the second round. Oh, I can't wait to that game right there. And I'm going to move on to 5A. 5A, it's the Little Rock Park Group Patriots. This team right here, I'm just going to be honest with you. The only team I think that can beat Little Rock Park Group, and listen to me as I say this, listen to me and listen to me good. The only team that can beat this Little Rock Park Group team in 5A is Little Rock Park Group. That's the only team that can beat this team. Little Rock Park Group is the only team that can beat Little Rock Park Group. And I'm going to explain to y'all what I'm talking about. Complacency. The only thing that can stop this team is getting complacent. That's it. Being undisciplined, which I can't see them being. This team right here, I went and watched them last year around this time. And I said, man, this team right here is primed to win another one next year. When they went into Bryant and defeat Bryant, who was riding a 54-game winning streak, I said, yeah, what 5A school can go to Bryant and beat them? What 6A school can go to Bryant and beat them? This team right here went into Bryant, went into Bryant backyard and beat them 28-27. I said, you know what? The only team that can beat this team is them. And led by senior quarterback Eric McGee. The kid can play. He can play. I mean, he don't throw it number about 10 times a game because the game is normally over with by halftime. He got a slew of running backs around him. Montario Eston, probably one of the best players in the state of Arkansas. You got him. You got highly taunted, highly recruited Cameron Settles. You got Jaden Ashford. He got a slew of running backs around him that he can just hand the ball off or throw the ball to. He have so much comfort to where he know if he get it one, he know that if he can get it to one of his skill players, that is most likely gonna be a big play. And then on the defensive side, they just been basically slapping people around, basically just dominating people. And that's exactly what they're supposed to do. When you coming in as heavy favorite, you coming in as a team like Little Rock Park Group, you need to come in and you need to let people know. When you step off this bus, you about to ready to get the brakes beat off you. Kind of like Camden Fairview, little running back. He was talking. Hey, they hadn't been slapped in the mouth. Well, Bryant tried to slap him in the mouth. How did that turn out? And when I look at Little Rock Park Group, their first game, they're going to play against Alma. They're going to stomp Alma out. That second round, that could be a very interesting matchup if they meet against the Mills. If they meet against Mills, that could be probably one of the only teams besides Shiloh Christian or even Pine Bluff that can give this team a run for their money. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to beat them, but they can probably push them just a little bit. You know how you used to push your little brother, push them to the edge of the porch, but they don't fall off. That's what I expect for this team. That's what I expect for everybody in 5A to do. It's just to push them just a little bit. Push them just a little bit. But you already know what's going to happen in the end. This Little Rock Park Group team is probably one of the most complete teams that I've watched. And when I look at it, I see Mills. Like I said, Mills can probably push them a little bit. And everybody else, maybe Shiloh Christian. I don't think Shiloh Christian can pretty much, I think that Shiloh Christian, they can probably give them a first quarter matchup. They probably can, go in head to head in the first quarter. But then I expect the Little Rock Park Group to probably just enforce their will and then go ahead on and pull away in the second and third quarter to where they can rest their players in the fourth. Who else? Pine Bluff. Pine Bluff has looked good. I ain't gonna lie. Pine Bluff has looked good. But they ain't look good enough though. This Little Rock Park Group team, they're the kings. They're the kings of 5A. The only thing that can stop them is them. And that's my opinion. I expect to be doing a podcast in December when I'm saying that I told y'all at the beginning that this team could not be stopped. And I expect for them not to be stopped. Little Rock Park Group, if y'all go out there and y'all take care of business like I know y'all can make this real easy in 5A. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what I wish. I wish Pulaski Academy would have stayed in 5A. Now that would be a good matchup. Parkview versus Little Pulaski Academy. Oh man, that would have been a good matchup last season. Little Rock Parkview against Pulaski Academy last year. Oh, that would have been a dream matchup. Oh, I would have paid money to watch that. But hey, I can't go back to the past because guess what? Pulaski Academy is up there. They got to deal with Greenwood, and Greenwood pretty much ain't showing no mercy to nobody in 6A. And the championship is going to go through Bryan in 7A. It's going to go through Greenwood in 6A. It's going to go through Little Rock Parkview in 5A. And it's going to go through Hardin Academy in 4A. But I'm going to say it's going to go through Orkadelphia, Hardin Academy, Warren, and Elkin in 4A. And hey, I'm going to come back in the next couple of weeks, and I promise you we're going to be talking about this again. But these 4 teams in 4A, they are on a collision course. They are on a collision course to meet. And I expect for them to meet in the next 3-4 weeks. And it's going to be settled on the football field. Man, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, listen, make sure you all continue to support the channel. I know I hadn't been on here. I know I hadn't been on here like I was supposed to, but guess what? I'm just in the process of moving, so that is why. But guess what? I'm gonna be bringing y'all amazing segments, and I'm gonna continue to make sure that I continue to do this right here because it's something that I love to do. Man, thank y'all for supporting again. Thank you all again. Listen to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray D.